I'm Carrie, and this is Photography for the Rest of Us, a place for people who love photography. And today we are talking about shooting in manual mode. And for this video, I want to cover the difference in RAW and JPEG and what that means for you. Now, this is video number 6 in a 10-part series. So if you are just joining me and this is the first video you're seeing, go ahead and go back to the beginning. And it's cumulative, so you kind of gather information as we go. If you've already watched the other videos, you're awesome. I'm so proud for you sticking with me for this long, and it's gonna be worth it. We're getting this together, team. Okay, so RAW and JPEG. Now, if you're totally new to photography, you might not even know what those words mean. And to be honest, it doesn't matter, and I don't know what they stand for either. But I will tell you that RAW and JPEG are two different ways for you to shoot. RAW gives you more data, and JPEG is the files that we see on images. Everything on social media, everything on your computer, like JPEGs are what most of the world uses to transfer images, okay? Now, this is a decision that you need to make on your own, and a lot of photographers will tell you you have to shoot in RAW. I agree. Shooting in RAW, absolutely a great way to go. But if you are not currently using editing software, shoot in JPEG. If you, okay, well, you're probably not a wedding photographer if you're watching how to do manual. But if you are a wedding photographer and you're shooting thousands of thousands of pictures for each session, and you need to room in your SD cards, okay, shoot in JPEG. I've known a lot of that. If you are a purist and you don't want to edit your photos at all, then shoot in JPEG, because you can absolutely just upload them from your camera. But you see, the reason that so many professional photographers tell you to shoot in RAW is, this is my analogy, okay, you ready? Is that JPEG is like when somebody gives you a form to fill out, right? The form is already there, it's printed off on a piece of paper. And you can write on it, and you can change it a little bit, but it's basically the same thing. And if you wanted to duplicate it, like in the copy machine, every time that you copy it, it kind of gets a little worse. We've all gotten those photocopies that you can hardly read anymore, right? That's what happens to a JPEG every time you save it. So you can't do a whole lot to change it, and the more times you copy it, the less quality it is, okay? Whereas RAW would be the original file that somebody printed that form off of, right? It's still on the computer, it's got all the data, I can change it however I want, and I've got a lot of flexibility there. And that's the best way that I can describe the difference between RAW and JPEG, okay? So what's the summary here, okay? I want you to go into your camera settings and change shooting to RAW if you have photo editing software, or you plan on having photo editing software that can support RAW files. Check that, okay? But don't spend extra money if you don't need to, or if you don't have it right now. Shooting in JPEG, but the largest possible JPEG your camera can handle is fine for now if you don't have that next step, okay? So you make that decision. I don't want you to spend any extra money that you don't want to. So you make that decision. It's all about personal choice at this moment in time when you're just learning. But if you have an editing software, switch your camera to shooting in RAW, R-A-W, on your menu settings. And if you don't have any, just pick the largest size JPEG that they have so that you can have the most data possible, okay? So that was an easy, fast video. Hit like if you're still with me. That was number 6, so we're almost there. We're almost shooting in manual, and I am so happy that you're sticking with me. So let's go on to metering mode.